The most dangerous number in business, in making money. Now, for those of you who don't know who I am an extremely successful Kindle publisher. In January of this year alone, I made over $11,000 profit across Kindle, ACX, CreateSpace, and Draft to Digital. Shout out to Draft to Digital, making me $50 a month without me having to do anything. Okay, so what's the most dangerous number in business? Now, I was listening to the Ben Settle podcast, great podcast, and I believe he got this from Dan Kennedy, so I'll just apply it to publishing. The most dangerous number in business is 1. And what does this mean? It means only having one stream of income. So if you don't yet have a Kindle publishing business or any sort of online business, for example, you just have your 9 to 5, that's just one stream of income that can be taken away from you at any time. So you're going to go from earning 100% of your income to 0% overnight. And if you're thinking, oh, my job's recession proof, or there's no way I would ever lose my position in this company, well, no one who's ever been laid off thought they were going to get laid off. There's so many instances where either your job could be outsourced to another country because the company wants to save money, or there's a company merger and they realize they don't need as many staff members going forward. There are so many ways you can get laid off without even seeing it coming. I'll give you a personal example from my own freelancing business. Last year, and this was when the penny dropped for me, one of my clients was making me roughly 70-80% of my income each month. And this was a steady gig. We'd been working together for over 6 months. And I really didn't have to think about them giving me work every month. They'd essentially just give me as much work as I could handle. So it was a pretty good arrangement until one day I woke up in the morning and I got a message saying, we're shutting down the project as of today. So there was no safety net there. There was no, you're going to have work for 3 more months and then you're going to leave. It was, this income you've been getting for the last month is going to go away tomorrow. So that's when I started looking at other options for business. And that's when I got into self-publishing. And with self-publishing, you have that second stream of income. So even if you are unfortunate enough to lose your day job, then you have a backup. Because all this is about is having a backup, and then having a backup to the backup. Ideally, you want to maximize the number of streams of income that you have. Having 10 streams of income is way better than just having 1, because you can lose 1 and you still have 90% of your income. Now, let's apply this to within your Kindle business, if you already do have a Kindle business. Only having books in one niche, or only having books in one keyword would be the extreme example of this. With self-publishing, there's always going to be competition. New books are always going to be coming, especially if you're in one of the bigger niches. Like, for example, if you have 15 books or 20 books, all in weight loss, and suddenly a competitor comes along and just walks in with much better books than yours, which can happen. Even if you've got the best books in the world, someone else can always be better. Then suddenly your position within that niche is going to drop very fast and your income's going to go down a lot. But if you spread yourself across multiple niches, now I'm not saying don't build up a following in one niche. Absolutely, you should do that. But you should build up a following in multiple niches. And my main niche hasn't been doing great the last few months. But because I have books in other niches that have taken off really well, my overall income levels haven't dropped at all, because those other niches have picked up the slack from my main niche. And then once again, I see this a lot with newer publishers. They don't take advantage of the multiple platforms you can actually publish with on Amazon Kindle Publishing. A lot of authors don't utilize Audible as much as they should. They publish a book on Kindle and then CreateSpace, and then they do this thing where they wait 2 months to publish it on Audible. And that's 2 months of lost income that you could be having. And the thing with Audible is, you really don't know which books are going to sell really well. Obviously, if you have a book that sells really well on Kindle and CreateSpace, you're probably going to do decently on Audible, providing it's not like a technical niche that needs pictures or something like that. But with most books, even if you have average sales on Kindle and CreateSpace, you can have a book that just randomly takes off on ACX. I've had it with some of my books that I didn't expect to sell that well, but are absolutely killing it on ACX for reasons unknown to me. Apparently Audible listeners like those kinds of books. So you got to leverage as many platforms as you can. And then you can experiment as well. Like I have some of my books on Draft to Digital. I have some of my books on Smashwords. I checked my Smashwords account this morning for the first time in about a month, and I made $100 on Smashwords without doing anything. So you got to just build up the streams of income, both in terms of number of businesses you have, and within those businesses themselves, the number of streams within those businesses. So if you are interested in starting a Kindle publishing business to give you that second stream of income, to give you that safety net, then I'd recommend checking out Emeka Osai's self-publishing blueprint course, and the link is in the description.